everyone, welcome to the channel for new battle report. We are for another game of tournament. Basically I have so many tournaments going on that I don't have time for training games. We are on the semi-finals of the Swiss Fondue League. I'm paired against Vargo Hoat, who is living in Switzerland. That's why he's able to take part to this Swiss league. Very good player from Team France. My list was the following, so I allowed him, because he was playing Dwarves and all, I allowed him to try out something different. He wanted to try out Infernal Dwarves. He's playing that since a couple of games, so I told him no problem, and this also allowed me to play another version of the list I'm trying out at the moment and try something different with the two cannons. So I have the Master Pyro, the Can BSB, Don't Move, then we have Bruiser Tribesman again, Mergvet's Albert as well, and I went, instead of the crossbow guys, I wanted to try out the Tusker on Stalker. Then I have double cannon to compensate the loss of damage output from range, 2 Yetis, Skin Eater, Frost Mammoth or Crossbow. On his side, he's playing the list that is quite popular at the moment in France. This appeared during the French qualification for the team, and I also saw Team Belgium is trying that out, a similar concept. So we have basically 100 vassal that are really cheap. In core, we have 2 well-stuffed characters. We have a Master Alchemy and a Fighty BSB. Then 2 blocks of Lugar, 2 blocks of Immortal. Here I think you can choose what you want. Some teams are playing like 4 times Immortal, is also really strong. Infernal Artillery with Rocket Battery and 2 Naftator, one of them being on the engine. We were playing, so it's not something we can prepare in advance. We roll the dice at the beginning of the game. We got Breakthrough this time and Spearhead on this map. I got Commit to Battle, meaning I need to have more scoring unit in my opponent's deployment zone than his own scoring unit. And he has Enslave and Ransom, so I need to kill or pursue a number of my units. So I need either to kill 4 in combat, or if you pursue and catch, it counts as 2 points basically. And below you have the spell selection for both of us. Matchup analysis, so you got a slow list, huge amount of hate, 1 bodies and good range damage. I think that sums up. Yeah, strong rocket against me. I thought here about the matchup because it depends a lot on what we get as primary. I thought I have 2 types of game here. I have one game, if we get, for example, spoil, we don't need to commit. I could play it on the range advantage and then be out of 36 and just take advantage from my cannon and pyro and let him come and see what happens. And the second potential game is if I need to engage. For example, hold ground, secure targets, breakthrough and stuff like that. Here we got breakthrough, so I will need to engage obviously. He has 7 scoring, I have 4. I'm going to push him and try to kill scoring, and I think it's slightly to my advantage because I have a good amount of combat power, so he's under pressure from that obviously, and he has probably the range advantage with Alchemy and Rocket Battery. Ogre can, yeah, I think my secondary goes well with my primary, so it's a clear game plan for me. I need to crush his list, push, engage and kill scoring unit, going to be my path to victory. On ID side, yeah, Enslave and Ransom depends a lot on my plays. I think here in this game is particularly something that I didn't like while I played ID Infantry, is the fact that you are not so maneuver, and it's basically here in that case, the Ogre can, I have the risk cursor, the risk indicator, basically this balance of the risk, I can choose whether or not I want to engage, I want to charge, I can zone him. I have the control here of what's going to happen in the game, mainly I would say. Pass to victory for ID, covering themselves, range damage obviously, and maybe create something on the flank. We saw on the map we have 2 border which are quite small, and then a big middle. He could use the superior amount of units to do something maybe on the flank. Other points, I think here starting is huge. Board control, so starting to push up the board towards the opponent deployment zone, and mainly range damage. I mean, if I can kill the rocket before he plays, that would be amazing. So I think here it's a huge difference. I would be really happy to start, which could be counterintuitive because most of the time on breakthrough you would like to finish. But in that case, I think starting is really huge, just for the range damage perspective. I cannot stand too long in front of Alchemy and Rocket, which drives obviously my game plan. And I think overall it's a very open and volatile match. both armies have argument, is better in range and better in combat. I would say that's that mainly. Let's move on to the deployment. To my surprise, so my opponent won the roll, and to my surprise, he chose the side. I think he wanted the hill to be protected from my cannon with his engine. Okay, fair point, but this allows me, and also I think he wanted to vanguard in the middle. He thought spearhead in the middle allows him to get like one turn of mobility. So it's like playing a turn without having played. But I think he forgot here the perspective of the range damage. So I was really happy to drop everything for first turn. You see the way I dropped, try to minimize the impact of train. I put the cavalry with Stalker in the middle, no problem for them, but the rest could be affected by that, so I need to be a bit careful. And I start with the Yeti somewhere here to say maybe I can play on the flank. I elected that I don't need that much chaff in the game. I have so much more range, charge range, that I felt I most likely won't need them as chaff. So I use obviously the Keen Eater in ambush and the Yetis as on the table as flanker, so to say. His counter deployment, he went heavily in the middle, so in that kind of case it means that one of us is wrong because he's also trying to play the war in the middle, so we'll see who is the stronger. That's basically the case. He went with the mage here and the vizier here in the front. He played like in a bunker with the immortal, which I'm not a fan of. This unit is not on the board, obviously. That's the levies with bow shots. He's playing the free version of Warhall, so we don't get all the picture. But I try to do my best to explain you what happened during his turn and the vassal levies each way. Infernal Artillery, I was a bit surprised that's that much in the front. I think it could have been a bit more in the back because, yeah, that's quite close for my battle line. So we will see the opportunities. And engine hidden at the moment behind the hill, but at the same time trying to protect the artillery from my ambush. I think that's also the reason why he put the artillery here on the hill, is the fact he wanted to be sure to cover that with the engine in case I would ambush here. That's his defender vanguard, so we completely ignore my Yetis in the flank, which surprised me, and my spearhead in the left flank. You see here me pushing with tribesmen and cannon. Let's move on to my turn one. So obviously I push up the board my entire battle line, everything forward. Yetis go in the flank here, trying to move next turn on the hill, or I can get potential charge. So if he's not careful, I get charge, doable charge. It's like 14-15, definitely doable. And if I get the rocket as soon as possible out of the map, I'm really happy because it has a lot of impact on the game. Magic phase, I got a Cage of Amber on 3 dice but failed. But then I got Pyro Flow here and killed 7 vassal. They have weakness flaming, so I can do a lot of work on them. And shooting 2 shots, 5 up, 2 up on his artillery, but I didn't hit. So nothing. Crossbow, nothing as well. His turn 1, yeah, he didn't maneuver much. Basically move a bit around, but nothing crazy. In the magic phase, I dispelled the lash. He got molten copper, did 2 wounds on my Tusker. He got also on 2 dice the corruption of Thin on my Tusker. And then shooting, he got 2 wounds on the Tusker with the rocket and 1 wound with the bow guys, who also put a flaming token on my Tusker. So that's quite interesting for him. My turn 2. I saw an opportunity here, but I failed to charge. I had a 6 on the Tusker. I felt I have only 7 wounds left on the Tusker, but here flank charge on the Lugar. And it was a big mistake from him because they were just behind the artillery, which would mean if I get them, I can overrun into the artillery. So I think that's a game changer here. That's a game changer, obviously. 6 Swift is like 30% chance, but unfortunately for me, I fail. I also saw by fail charging, that's only charge on 6 for the Lugars. Charge on 6 for the Immortals, so I fled. I felt no downside here, or no big enough downside. I also had the Merc Vets on 6, but I felt that would put me too much out of position to tempt that charge, so I didn't do it. But I failed with the Tusker. I push a bit my Tribesman and Bruiser up the board, push also the Frosty, made some quick calculation. I felt that's a fight I can take. It wounds me only on 6, and it would be far away from his magic. It's charge on 5. We will see if that was good or not. And I didn't move the cannon. I ambush with my Keen Eater in the back. So basically my plan here is to continue to hurt with magic, get them at some point, get them with the Keen Eater, and then I have here a part of the map where I can potentially go for the breakthrough. That's basically the idea, to open up his battle line. And right flank the same, I'm trying to open, but there is the tank, which is obviously not easy to get rid of if I don't get cannon shot on him. In the magic phase, I got Pyro Flow on the Vassal on the left and I killed 10. Amazing. He was out of 6 from his Immortal unit, which is a check on 7 rollable that he failed, so they are shaken. Kind of important. Then I tried a Cage, but it dispelled with 4 dice against my 3 and Fireball 3 dice against 3. Got also Dispel. Shooting my cannon shot again on his artillery didn't hit. No scandal here. You see 4 cannon shot, 5 up, 2 up. That can happen that I don't hit. And it's 27% chance. So, I mean, that can happen, obviously. I could also have a chance to get rid of the battery already turn 2, which would have been really nice because it does so much damage on me. Let's move on to his turn 2. So we attempt a charge with the Lugar here on the 5 against my Frosty. Just for the record, these are the stats. I just forgot to take into account the fact that I would kill some Lugars. So the stats are a bit worse than that. He has static +3. Down, you see my stat. I go first. I could kill like 3 or 4 before he strikes, which could reduce slightly his attack. So it's slightly worse than that. So as you can see, it's a very dicey fight. It's very drawish, but can go both ways, basically. And dangerous fight, potentially, for both of us. I thought he wouldn't take it because I have counters in place. But he went for it. And also the fact that it opened up for my Yeti some place, which forced the tank to chaff me and go on the hill. I felt that was a bit of a risk, but he took that and failed the charge. And second charge was Lugar against my Tuskers. Here I felt comfortable. I have the Frosty nearby. I'm going to strike first. 8 attack time 3. That's a lot of attack plus stomp. He has only AP 1, strength 4. I felt here I can hold that, no problem. But he failed the charge as well. So for the moment, the long charges are not going in. We go to magic phase. Hereditary got Dispel, he got Molten Copper on the Tusker, did 2 wounds, and that's it. Rocket Battery did 4 wounds to my Frost Mammoth. Oh, ouch. 3 up, 4 up, 4 wounds, quite good. And Shaken unit didn't pass the 7 check, no reroll, and they fled over the Impassable because the closest unit was my Kineater. They ended up somewhere here suffering a lot of wounds on DT and stuff. So basically there is not much left of this unit, which is good news for me. My turn 3, I attempt a couple of charges. My Tusker had a 5 Swift onto his Rocket Battery, out of line of sight of everybody. So I thought that's very sexy, with 5 wounds left of Tusker to be near his DZ and getting rid of this nasty Rocket Battery. But I failed the charge on 5 Swift. I ensured I had a flee pass in case the Lugar charged me. I can easily then flee here and rally for later, so why not? I charged with the Frosty on the right, and this time I was a bit lucky. He failed third check, 9 no reroll, and he rolled like a double 1 or 1 and 2 on the flee, and I catch him on middle charge. It was an easy charge for me, so I catch the Lugars here, which open up big the right flank. I can place my Yeti to get the War Machine. Here I charge, obviously. Here I was able to move out of arc with the Tribesman, which is really nice. Here I didn't charge. I will see if he rallies or not, but he's on half leadership. And that's about it. In the magic phase, so here, my something I forgot to mention, that's an overrun on 6 Swift, so that could be easy. And I have 2 cannon shot on 4+, 2+. My thought process, if I'm a bit lucky, I didn't hit for 2 turns. If I get double hit, maybe I get like 4 wounds. I have a charge, a flank, maybe 1 wound or 2, and he fluffs. I mean, there is a world where this tank could be in trouble. So I'm going to try my best to do that. Magic phase. I got Pyro Flow, kill some Vassal, Fireball, kill another number of Vassals. So I kill total of 8 here. So I start to do some work on the big unit in the middle, obviously, to reduce their numbers. Shooting, crossbow nothing, cannon nothing, so that's it. You see the cannon stat again, nothing to complain here. As long as you are in the green area, I'm always saying that you have nothing to complain about. That's good about those colors in the stat. Well, close combat, we have the Frosty overrunning into the tank. That's good to block him. but I have no hope other than sticking him as long as I can. The Keen Eater, he had a shaky 7 rerollable which he failed, and actually that's a very good news for him because he fled here and that's chaffing my Bruiser, so that's really good for him actually. My Keen Eater just reformed because he was position. No, I think, yeah, that was it. But I wanted my Keen Eater to be able to do stuff and not block potentially my tribesman. So yeah, he fled that way. Not good for me, but that's how it is. And I think, yeah, that's his turn now. I wanted also to have possibilities with the Keen Eater next turn, basically. His turn. So I attempt a charge with the Lugar on my Tusker. Obviously, I flee over here. And then he redirect the charge on 6 on my Bruisers. And he failed that charge. Reposition his vassal that way to have a look at my Frosty, I guess. Those guys are not here anymore. They are here. Those guys are not going to rally. They die. And I think he turned around a bit, those guys, obviously, to give me front and stuff. Reposition those Immortals. In Magic Phase, he got Hereditary on my Tribesman. And then he got... I Dispel Flaming Sword +2 armor save on the Immortal, but he got Flamethrower on the Tribesman, reroll 2 wounds, got 7 wounds. Rocket Battery on the Tribesman, got 6 wounds, so he killed like 4 Ogres almost. Like, yeah, 3.5 Ogres, so I lost a wall rank, and I cannot really engage into only with the Tribesman into the Immortals. If I would have got the Bruiser as help, maybe, but that's it. The tank on the right, I did 0 wound, he did a wound to me, no problem here, we stick. My turn 4, I charge with the Yetis onto the nasty War Machine, really happy that. I charge with my Murgvets into the flank of the Lugars, he's forced to flee, and I can catch him with the Keen Eater. I double charge into the Vassal to get rid of them. I reposition my Tribesmen in the breakthrough. Those guys are fleeing. I position forward with my cannon. And yeah, here the idea, I have decision to make. I have either an overrun here, quite easy, like 7, or overrun in the back from the Keen Eater to block him. I can choose what I want. We'll see. How confident I feel depends also a bit on the Magic Phase. Magic Phase, speaking of which, also, yeah, the Murkvet, sorry, I redirect, got a charge on 6 on those guys, and I feel good about that, because he has no counter charge whatsoever. I am within range of the Frosty, going first, doing a ton of damage. He has 15 attacks, I'm not flaming, so on the first round I get no reroll to wound. Potentially I can strike again before him next turn, so feeling here that could be a good charge, but I failed that one. Close combat, what happens? Got rid of the Vassal Levies. I elected to go for... I felt too confident. So here we stick on the right, he did another wound, I did nothing, I pass a check on 7. And here I felt overconfident. I wanted to try out to see that combat, so I make the overrun. I got Rod of Battle on Magic on those guys. I fail Hereditary and he Dispel. I think I also try then Dragon Roar or the Cage, something. I wanted to kill one guy here, basically, to delete the press by the ranks. I attempted a cannon shot on 4+, which didn't hit again, so yeah, that's getting a bit sad. But I still made the overrun, I wanted to see that. Yetis did 2 wounds to the War Machine, got a charge, lose by 3, but he stick on 6, no reroll. He's done 4, so the Bruiser are here. Those guys, I think they charge, yeah, they charge the Keen Eater. And we're still stuck, and those guys, I think they reformed that way, basically. Those guys are dead, the guys on the left are dead, so feeling good about the game. Magic Phase, he try +2 armor save on 4 dice, I Dispel with 5 on the Immortal, so that's already, I'm seeing that was not the best decision to charge. Hereditary got off on my Bruiser, which moved me down to weapon skill 1, so I only hit on 4+ with Rod. And I Dispel Flaming Sword, but would have done nothing. Close combat, the Chariot kill my Frosty. The War Machine did 1 wound to me, I did 1 wound to him, so he stick, turn around here that way, I think. And what else? He didn't kill the Keen Eater. He did like nothing to me, I guess. I did some wounds to him. I'm a Hatred, Storm D3. And I pop, I think, 2 wounds from the combat result. Not that bad. And the big close combat here, what happens? These are the stats of the Immortal going before me. You see 13 wounds on average. Yeah, I roll a bit, roll a 16 wounds. I made 2 wounds to the gunnery and that's it. So I'm literally auto-breaking and by far. So that was not a good charge to take. I flee 11, he elected not to chase and to turn around because he can basically prepare a counter charge for the top of the map. He has a lot to do. And I fled too far away from him. So nothing bad here, I can rally, but that was not a good charge to take, definitely. My turn 5. Yes, since my Kinetor stuck him, I can charge him in the flank with my Tribesman. The Chariot move out of arc of both units, prepare the rest of the game. Here, I just in front of him, I'm ready to counter charge with a lot of things, so he can try. He would suffer from DT, and then I can counter charge, even if he breaks me, but I think that's not that likely. I can then counter charge with everything. The Yeti is still stuck. I'm hoping finally to kill the War Machine, and my turn I will get charged by the tank. Nothing I can do here. So that's a bit sad story here, but here's the 10th combat is this one, and I'm hoping this one goes well, because he's still, due to bodyguard, it makes him stubborn because he loses the rank from the flank charge. He has only 1 rank left, which is enough to be stubborn, so he's going to be checking on half the combat results, so I need to do some result here. Magic Phase, try a cage, fail, a dragon roar. I got that in the close combat. He dispelled hereditary, obviously. And I didn't got Roll of Battle because I'm fleeing the Yetis. Combat, I do 1 wound and he stick on 8, no reroll. Yeah, that's too bad. He can even take my Yetis. Kinetor, and Kinetor does 2 wounds to his Immortal. My Tribesman do a good amount of wounds. He loses by 10, which should be auto. Stubborn loses by 5. It's a 4 rerollable, and here I'm sweating, but it doesn't make it, and I can pursue. Needed overrun of 4 to be out of arc, which I make. And that's the 3 round of Yeti against the War Machine, which is very sad. Obviously, I have a 98% chance of killing it, but I'm really happy to get this bad luck here and get some other better luck at other part of the map. Definitely not the most important combat. He's 5, he moves around, has no magic. My 6, I positioned the Kinetor as chaff for his Immortal. I positioned my unstable brick in front of his tank. I elected not to charge because I'm already winning. I rallied those guys turn 5. So yeah, I don't charge. I rally also the Tusker before, forgot to mention that. Just trying to take the points. I will do Fireball onto him, but he passes a 4-up. And then with the crossbow of the BSB, boom, kills the War Machine. The cannon shoot at the tank. Will manage to do 2 wounds, which doesn't matter. His last turn is going to charge, kill my Kinetor, and he charge it. I think he kills the Kinetor, and he charge into the guys, but doesn't do much, and I'm still here. And that's the end of the game. Ended up being 18-2. Got a lot of points, and I got the breakthrough. I didn't make commit to battle because he still had enough scoring unit in his deployment zone, and he didn't make Enslaver and Ransom. He was just short of destroying another unit in the close combat to make it. So large win here. Post-game analysis. Really happy to start. Obviously, I felt it was huge. I think my opponent didn't intensify that. I think ID counter deployment was maybe questionable. I think if we would have dropped like maybe on the left of the impassable, a unit of Lugars could have pushed hard, threatened the cannon, forced me to look on the left and stuff like that. Playing here, everything in the middle and just a battle to see who is the strongest in the middle. I'm not sure that was the best use of his high amount of unit. I tried to engage quickly with higher charge range. We both got some opportunities for long charges, which didn't work, and I felt what I liked. I was mainly in charge and in control of this game. I felt I knew what kind of risk I was taking. I was really in control of that. I made some bad decisions sometimes, like charging with the bruises, but yeah, that wasn't. That's something I chose to make basically. Early game, out of bubble, leadership 9 vassal cost him a unit. Definitely a mistake here. That cost a unit that is valuable. Turn 3 Ogre can, obviously low moment for him to fail the 9 non-rollable and then flee low to let me get him. Question mark was my attempt to let him charge on 5 on a dicey combat between Lugars and Frosty worth it. Not sure about that. I think in hindsight I would have put it on a 6+. I think 6 is fine, but 5 maybe slightly too risky. If he makes it, spikes a bit, that can still be risky for me. So, and then I don't like the fact that it can overrun towards my deployment zone. Yeah, not that great. So I think here I could have let 6+. I think that should have been a better decision. Turn 4, yeah, the bruiser fight was something I shouldn't have taken. Just overrun with the Keen Eater in his back, and that's enough to chaff his Immortal. I could have also just charged with the cannon into the Vassal. Maybe when fleeing, they flee in front of the Immortal as well. So I have multiple other safe options, and here just keep the Bruiser as counter-charger in a strong position. Frost Mammoth blocked the engine for a long time. That was good news for me. Turn 5 Ogre Khan, still a chance for Infernal Dwarf to hold on a low roll. Yeah, if he makes that 4 rerollable, that moves the large win towards a small, narrow win because it's a drawn primary and he gets a good amount of points. So that wouldn't have been so good for me, definitely, if he holds the 4 rollable. Yeti's Keen Eater, interesting that game, despite the fact that the Yeti's fluff, but that can always happen. And yeah, good news, qualified for the final. Despite the fact that we played not 100% serious, like me tempting the Bruiser and him also attempting some stuff, so it was quite maybe more open than it should have been at some moment, but it was a lively game and also interesting. We wanted to try out some stuff in this game, and good news for me to qualify for the final and have an attempt to win this league. Guys, thanks a lot for watching the battle report, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.